Good evening, this is QTV News coming to you live from our studios on Kairaba Avenue, and I am Asma Uba. Thanks for joining us. Here are the main news headlines. A delegation from the African Solidarity Fund had a meeting with the Permanent Secretary of the Finance Ministry to identify projects to be implemented for economic transformation in the Gambia. The Gambia is hosting the Conference of Youth on Climate Change ahead of the Conference of Parties COP28 in Dubai this November. In business news, as digital inclusion is embraced globally, Ecobank Gambia Limited commemorated its 10th year of positive impact in local communities by making meaningful difference in people's lives. In international news, as fighting rages on in Gaza, Palestinian parents are writing the names of their children's bodies as Israel continues its retaliatory siege on one of the most densely populated places on earth. In sports news, the long-awaited African Football League began in an electric atmosphere at the Benjamin Mkapa Stadium in Tanzania with a thrilling 2-2 draw. These and other stories coming up. Do stay tuned. Thank you for staying with us. A delegation from the African Solidarity Fund is in the Gambia just a few months after the Gambia joined the organization. On Monday, the ASF delegation had a meeting with the Permanent Secretary of the Finance Ministry to identify projects to be implemented for economic transformation in the Gambia. Mudalamin Choi reports.
The African Solidarity Fund is a multilateral financial guarantee institution based in Niamey, Niger, and has 21 member countries. On 30th June this year, the Gambia became one of the latest countries alongside Cabo Verde, Comoros, Congo and Liberia to join the institution. The Permanent Secretary at the Ministry of Finance and Economic Affairs, Abdoulaye Jallow, receives a delegation from the African Solidarity Fund and updates the media after a closed-door meeting.
So we have had some preliminary discussions concerning the financial services sector, the agro-processing sector, the construction sector, and a host of other sectors that are important for helping our economy to grow. We have some also discussions around the key sectors that are essential to transform our economy. We have discussed the tourism sector also, and they have intentions to see how they can de-risk also investments in the energy sector and also in the agro-processing sector.
This delegation will meet government officials and the private sector to have an understanding of our national objectives in key sectors of our economy. Zhang Grunziza is the Central Director in charge of Strategy and Operations at the African Solidarity Fund.
We are convinced that if Africa wants to be developed, it will be a work of Africans. That is why we appreciate very deeply the commitment of the government of Gambia to join our other member countries. And that is why in less than 2 months, despite other activities, we decide to come to contact our partners in this country, to speak with authorities, to speak with bankers, to speak with private sectors, to begin to build a platform of working to transform economy, because our strategic plan is aimed to transform African economies, to make more transformative activities, more industrial activities, to support also agriculture because of the importance of food security, and also to help country mobilize foreign funds.
This Friday, the African Solidarity Fund delegation, together with the Gambia government, will launch its activities in the Gambia. During this visit, the delegation will also propose partnerships with ministries and report back on sectors of Gambia's economy that could benefit from ASF support. Mahmoud Lamin Choi, QTV News.
The Gambia is hosting the Conference of Youth on Climate Change ahead of the Conference of Parties COP28 in Dubai this November. As Yenaba Sonko reports, the theme of the conference centered on empowering Gambian youth for climate advocacy and implementation.
The local Conference of Youth, ALCOY, is under Yongo, the Children and Youth Constituency, to the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. The conference brings together young people passionate about climate change and environmental-related matters. The conference traditionally takes place ahead of the Conference of Parties COP on Climate Change. Dauda Cham is the coordinator of ALCOY in the Gambia.
The inception of the ALCOY in the Gambia was a natural progression of the global movement tailored to address the unique climate challenges facing our nation. It was founded on the belief that young people, with their boldness and energy and fresh perspectives, have a pivotal role to play in inspiring the future of our planet.
Young people face a significantly diminished future as a direct result of the climate crisis. Dr. Malanding Jaite, project manager with the Large-Scale Ecosystem-Based Adaptation Project, EOB, calls on young people to focus on smarter solutions.
What I would want you to do today is educate yourself. I know the text, the global text is great. We can all narrate the global text. Climate change, Gambia is the most vulnerable, climate change is this and that. But think about what it is like when you are in somewhere in Panchang. If you are in Panchang, you know that 8.5 months there is no rain, for sure. Even when there is rain, there is going to be temperature ranges of what? 35, 36, 40, 45.
Young people continue to take leading roles in influencing, advocating and demanding responsible climate behavior and stronger policies. However, gaps have been identified between governments and the young people. Much of this is due to young people's limited access to decision-making spaces on climate change-related matters. Babakar Zaidi Jallo, Deputy Permanent Secretary with the Ministry of Environment and Climate Change, says the Gambia government is aware of the efforts of young people and will continue to collaborate with them.
Fellow youths, for us to make sustained climate action a reality, we must all take responsibility for actions towards the environment. This requires the concerted efforts of all stakeholders, ranging from government, the private sector, CSOs, utilizing a whole society approach, meaning no one is left behind, including women, men, the differently abled, as well as, of course, youths at the forefront.
These discussions will continue at the COP28, which will be convened in the UAE from November 29th through 12 December 2023. Within the 2 weeks, world leaders will come together at a very crucial moment for global transformative climate action. Reporting for QTV News, I am Jennifer Sonko.
That story by Jennifer Sonko takes us to business news. Now, as digital inclusion is embraced globally, EcoBank Gambia Limited commemorated its 10th year of positive impact by reinforcing its commitment to making a significant and meaningful difference in people's lives and in communities. Lena Igwenyiba reports.
EcoBank Day, the flagship annual corporate and social responsibility event of the EcoBank Group, marks its 10th anniversary in 2023 with the positive and game-changing theme Transforming Africa Through Education, Excel with Digital Skills. This celebration also initiates a promising 3-year campaign. In alignment with this theme, EcoBank Gambia has chosen to support Lachikunda Upper Basic School by investing in the refurbishment and equipping of its Information and Communication Technology ICT lab. John Nyaba is the Managing Director of EcoBank Gambia Limited.
Our efforts will focus on enhancing the school's ICT lab with the following. That's desktop computers, 6 months Wi-Fi connection, painting of the ICT lab, white writing board, ceiling fans, chairs for the ICT lab. This, we believe, will allow students to seamlessly learn and build their ICT skills in a conducive environment.
Kura N. Job, the principal of Lachikunda Upper Basic School, expressed gratitude for this transformative initiative, emphasizing its relevance in today's digital world.
This gesture by EcoBank Gambia Limited couldn't have come at a better time than this, knowing fully well that we are in a digital world whereby one is left behind if you don't adjust to the realities of life. Yes, there was a computer lab, but what qualified it to be called one was lacking because of the meager resources, and EOB Bang Gambia Limited has come up with answers.
Ibrahim Sisawo, Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education, MAPSI, emphasized how this initiative aligns with his ministry's goal of adapting to digital trends in education.
We are reviewing our curriculum, and one of the key components or the key phrase in that review is that we want digitalization of our curriculum. We want to improve on digital literacy. We want children in schools as early as grade 4 to be exposed to digital education, because this is the new world order. So we have no choice but to also play along. So this is what you are exactly contributing to.
Maimuna Jallo, a student at Lachikunda Upper Basic School, conveyed heartfelt appreciation on behalf of the student body.
I would like to extend my gratitude to our esteemed donors, EOB Bang Limited. Your selfless contribution will mark the start of a new life into our learning journey. Through your willingness to invest in our education, in our educational infrastructure, you have shown an unwavering belief in the power of knowledge and its ability to transform lives. Your commitment to our growth and success is truly second to none.
Since its commencement in 2013, EOB Bang Day has been simultaneously commemorated by all EOB Bang subsidiaries throughout the 35 countries across Africa where the bank operates, focusing each year on a specific theme and intervention in areas like the donation of learning materials to school children, mental health, and preventing diabetes and other non-communicable diseases, among other initiatives. This multi-country celebration underscores the Pan-African commitment of EOB Bang to uplift communities and drive progress across the continent. Reporting for QTV News, I am Lena E. Igwenyiba.
We will now go for a commercial break, but when we return, we have more local, international, as well as sports stories for you. Do stay tuned.
Waalaikum salam. Xanaa ma dem. Waaw baax na ngeen def. Xadi li nga jëlee si Argentine moom macha allah. Yow man de ma Argentine laay dundee suma kër. Gis bi dafa ceeñ. Ceeñ. Masuta ceeñ.
waaw du gis ngeen daw si ba mu amee sikki sàkkane Argentine mii dañoo wecci ay cafkaam ba ñu ko ubbilee siwo bi ba xet gi dugg ko cam billahi la mu yëg bari na Argentine ñaar fukki at ak nangam ba mu ne cëpp ci réew mi ba tey mësula wecci doxalin mësula wecci cafkaan
bu leen ci am benn ñaari xel man mii di jaay lépp luy produit gi Argentine rek am naa ko am na 500 millilitres 1000 millilitres ak 5 kilos ba noppi nag am 750 ml bi nga xam ne mi ngi toj réew mi gis nga Argentine Eva Protect Milk bi mooy mos dolli te Argentine spaghetti bii ngay gis moo dàq ci spaghetti yi
gis nga Argentine bottom margarine bi noonu la gënee ci yow mi nga xamante ne yaa ngi jaay tàngane ci Johnson bi kombi fi Argentine la dugal sa waa ñoddi sa kombi bi gis ngeen lii sardañ la da nga gis boobu jën bi dafa neex gis nga meew ko ndig mil bi Argentine ko fi indi moom mi dafa sakkan xoolal xale bi nu muy naanee banana milk bi gis ngeen flamingo oil bi dem leen ci bépp boutique bépp supermarket ci bépp marché
Argentine ki produit kenn mënu koo ceeñ
Argentine ba foofu ndax moo di good quality.
To make sure your company's products and services reach your potential customers, it is essential that you choose the right channel for your marketing purposes. QTV has the widest reach locally and beyond, and we can give your business the visibility it needs. Call QTV Marketing on +220 324 4444 or email us at marketing@qtv.gm and take your business to the world.
Welcome back. If you're just tuning in, you're watching QTV News with me, Asmauba. Now, a 33-year-old woman on Sunday delivered triplets at the Kanifing General Hospital. According to the hospital authorities, all the baby boys are in good health. Lolem Kamara visited them, and this is her report.
Adama Job, the mother of the triplets, is a mother of 7. According to the hospital authorities, this is the first set of triplets born in the hospital in 2023. The babies weigh 2.4, 2.1 and 1.665 kilograms respectively. Mary Rose Gomez, the nurse in charge of the maternity unit at the Carnifin General Hospital, explains.
It was a normal delivery, that is SVD. So she is Adama Job. She came yesterday to the ward. She came around 7 to 8 cm and the service was favorable, so she delivered. It's very rare. These triplets are always delivered through cesarean section. But for her own case, she came, she was fully dilated and the service was favorable. And the kids, how you can see them now, they are healthy and fine.
The hospital staff are even more delighted because the father of the babies, Aliu Kume, is a staff member at the hospital. Mr. Kume shared his joy with us.
I am very grateful. I'm happy for my wife. Yes, she's a wonderful wife anyway. Best of all. Especially supposed to anybody good passion to help, because it's not easy to breastfeed three babies, triplets. It's not easy, especially for the mother.
Adama Job is the mother of the triplets.
Ginnaaw sant Yàlla di julli ci Yonent bi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam di wax ne kontaan naa bu baax am naa tane.
I would like to thank Allah for His blessings, and I am happy that I am regaining my health. Also, I would like to thank the management and staff of the hospital for their support and care. When I came here, all the nurses on duty helped me, and I have received all the medication that I needed. Like many maternity wards, Carnifin General Hospital also have numerous challenges, according to the nurse in charge.
So now you see 2 mothers in a bed, and we have already made our discharges. Before in the morning we will have 4 to 3 mothers in a bed, normal delivery. The postnatal ward there, we admit only CS cases, and different from CS cases, we have up to 7, sometimes 8. And total deliveries a day, because we are in the peak season, we have 27.
Basiru Drame is the Chief Executive Officer at the Carnifin General Hospital.
Because we are making names, so that is making people to utilize our service a lot. And that if you look at our delivery rate, sometimes we deliver about up to 5,000 deliveries, or above 5,000 to 6,000 deliveries a year. So this has been increasing, and even this year, the delivery rate, I'm sure, is going to be beyond 5,000 babies.
According to research, the chances of naturally conceiving triplets are around 1 in every 10,000 births. A triple pregnancy raises the risk of complications during both pregnancy and delivery. This can sometimes result in births by cesarean section. However, with Adama Job, there were no complications during pregnancy and delivery. For QTV News, Lolly M. Kamara.
That story by Lolly M. Kamara takes us to international news in a moment. As fighting rages on in Gaza, Palestinian parents are writing names on their children's bodies as Israel continues its retaliatory siege on one of the most densely populated places on earth, amid fear of a ground invasion. More in this report by Ansumane Isonyasi.
This new development reveals heightened fear amongst parents as families of victims struggle to identify loved ones who died as a result of Israel's ongoing aerial bombardment of the Gaza Strip. Fearing that no one may identify them after an airstrike, parents have now resorted to using black ink to write their children's name on their bodies in the event they are martyred. Declining to be named, a mortuary attendant told journalists that the number of dead overnight from Saturday into Sunday had exceeded 200. He described in graphic detail that writing names on children's legs and belly have become the new phenomenon in Gaza. As many of the children are missing, many are brought to the mortuary with their skulls broken, making it impossible to identify them. Hundreds of children have been pulled from the wreckage of buildings hit by airstrikes, many of them made unrecognizable by their injuries. Gaza is one of the world's most densely populated settlements. Hospitals are reportedly running out of medicine, water and electricity as hundreds of injured Palestinians continue to seek treatment. Dr. Zahir, Director General of Al-Aqsa Matthias Hospital in Gaza, Sunday told CNN that more than 300 people sought help at the hospital after Israel dropped bombs nearby Saturday night into Sunday. And with fuel reserves also reportedly running out in the coming days, there is growing fear for infants at the neonatal departments of hospitals across besieged settlements. The death toll in Gaza since October 7th has risen to more than 4,650, with more than 14,245 wounded, according to the Palestinian Ministry of Health in Gaza, which is just 25 miles long and 7.5 miles wide, and where half the 2.2 million population are children. The bombardment of Gaza comes after at least 1,400 people, most of them civilians, were killed in the Hamas assault, which started on the 7th October 2023. In addition to the Israeli dead, more than 200 were taken hostage. Israel has vowed to continue to quote their military spokesman until Hamas is wiped out. Answana Isonyasi for QTV News.
From international, let's now take a look at sports news. Now, the long-awaited African Football League began in an electric atmosphere at the Benjamin Mkapa Stadium in Tanzania between Simba and Africa's most decorated club, Al Ahly of Egypt. Our sports reporter Mamadou Gajaga was monitoring, and this is his report.
It's finally here. The much talked about Africa Football League got off to a beautiful start with a match between host Simba of Tanzania and Al Ahly of Egypt at the Benjamin Mkapa Stadium in Dar es Salaam. A 60,000 sellout crowd watched the opener in an electric atmosphere. Iconic Tanzanian musician Ali Kiba lit the stadium with a beautiful performance ahead of kickoff. The first half was keenly contested until Reda Salim scored for Al Ahly against the run of play. A minute into first half added on time, but Simba managed to turn the game on its head with Dennis Kibu netting the equalizer in the 53rd minute before Sadio Kanute put the host in front on the hour mark. Their lead didn't last long as Ahmed Karaba restored parity just 3 minutes later to ensure a 2-2 first leg draw. Elsewhere, Morocco's Wydad Casablanca secured a vital 1-0 away victory against Nigeria's Enyimba in the first leg of their match at the Godwill's Akpabio International Stadium in Uyo, Nigeria, thanks to a clinical discipline and composed performance. South Africa's Mamelodi Sundowns defeated Petro Atletico of Angola 2-0 in the first leg of their tie on Saturday. Second-half goals from Marcelo Allende and Gift Maseko handed Sundowns a comfortable lead ahead of the home tie second leg. Their victory avenged their Champions League exit to Petro last season, putting the Brazilians, as Mamelodi Sundowns are called, based on the similarity of their team colours to that of Brazil's national team, on the verge of a semi-final position. As there are 8 teams in the competition, the home and away ties are essentially quarterfinals. Mamadou Gajaga, QTV News.
Well, that's all we have for you, but before we go, a recap of our main news headlines. A delegation from the African Solidarity Fund had a meeting with the Permanent Secretary of the Finance Ministry to identify projects to be implemented for economic transformation in the Gambia. The Gambia is hosting the Conference of Youth on Climate Change with the theme centered on empowering Gambian youth for climate advocacy and implementation. In business news, as digital inclusion is embraced globally, Ecobank Gambia Limited commemorated its 10th year of positive impact in local communities by making meaningful difference in people's lives. In international news, as fighting rages on in Gaza, Palestinian parents are writing names on their children's bodies as Israel continues its retaliatory siege on one of the most densely populated places on earth. In sports news, as the long-awaited African Football League began in an electric atmosphere at the Benjamin Mkapa Stadium in Tanzania with a thrilling 2-2 draw. Well, that's all we have for you in this news bulletin. Join us again at 10 p.m. for more news. Have a great evening.